Good morning students, welcome to Maths Classroom. As you know, in our last session we have studied about remainder theorem and we have solved our exercise 2.3 based on that topic. Now our next topic in this chapter polynomial is factorization of polynomials. You have studied in your 8th class about factorization of equations. You have studied the splitting the middle term method. You have studied about factorization through identity. So here we will use those method and some other method also for factorizing the polynomials. So before that, let us study about the factor theorem. So the factor theorem says that if you have a polynomial, let it be in a variable y with degree n greater than equal to 1. That means the degree of the variable must be either equal to 1 or it is greater than 1. And you have a real number. Here we have taken the real number as t. So y minus t is a factor of py if the value comes out to be 0. So what does it mean? For example, you have a polynomial in y square minus 1, and you have a real number 1. So what does it mean? Y minus t means y minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial if and only if this py, that means p1, comes out to be 0. What does this mean? That if you put the value of 1 in place of the variable y, your answer comes out to be 0. That means this is a factor of this. So we have py is equal to y square minus 1, and we want to check that whether 1 is a factor of this equation or not. So what we will take, y minus 1 is a factor or not, what we will take, we will put 1 in place of y. So y square minus 1 square minus 1, 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So here our answer come out to be 0. That means our p of 1 value comes out to be 0. So we can say that y minus 1 is a factor. We can take one more example for this. Py is equal to y square minus 1. Same. You want to check whether y minus 2 is a factor or not. So we will take 2 in place of y. So 2 square minus 1, that is 4 minus 1, 3. As our p of 2 is not equal to 0, that means y minus 2 is not a factor of py. So first thing is about this. Now what about the second thing? If your p of t is equal to 0, then y minus t is a factor of py. What does it mean? For example, you are being said that you have a polynomial in y square plus 1, for example. So it is been told that p of minus 1 is 0. It is given in the question that p of minus 1 is 0. So we can say that y minus y1, that is y plus 1, is a factor of the given polynomial. So both these are true. If y minus 1 is a factor, then py, yeah, p1 is equal to 0, or if p1 is equal to 0, then py minus 1 is a factor. Both these are true, and we will use this thing into solving our problems related to factorization of polynomials. So let us move to our first example. Example number 12, given in your textbook. You have to find the value of k if x minus 1 is a factor of this given polynomial. So what we have studied, if you have a value, here we have px is equal to 4x cube plus 3x square minus 4x plus k, and what is given, x minus 1 is a factor. X minus 1 is a factor, that means p of 1 is equal to 0. If x minus 1 is a factor, then p of 1 is equal to 0. So what should we do? We will put the value of x is equal to 1 in this polynomial and put it equal to 0. So here we have put the value of x is equal to 1, and now we will place it equal to 0. From here we will get the value of k is equal to minus 3. So whenever you are given some polynomial is a factor of another polynomial, that means if you put the value of x there, if you put the value of x there, you will get the value 0 of that polynomial. and if the value of that polynomial is 0, that means the given polynomial is a factor of the other polynomial. Next is factorize the given polynomial by splitting the middle term and by using the factor theorem. So you have to use both the methods, by splitting the middle term method and by using the factor theorem. Both the methods you have to use. So we have studied splitting the middle term in our 8th class also. Let us recall, we have given 6x square plus 17x plus 5. So first thing, you have to compare it with ax square plus bx plus c. From here you will get the value of a is equal to 6, b is equal to 17 and c is equal to 5. Then what you have to do, you have to find the value of two numbers in such a way that the sum is equal to 17. The sum of the two numbers must be equal to 17 and their multiplication must be equal to a multiply c, that means 6 5s are 30. So you have to find out two numbers whose multiplication is equal to 30 and whose addition is equal to 17. So the two numbers can be 15 and 2. 15 2s are 30 and 15 plus 2 17. So first number can be 15 and the second number can be 2. So we will write it like this: 6x square plus 15x plus 2x plus 5. Here from this we will take 3x common. Here we will left with 2x plus 5, and from this we will take 1 common. Here we will left with 2x plus 5. Now the next step is take this 2x plus 5, 2x plus 5 together. Here we will left with 3x, so 3x, and here we will left with 1, so 3x plus 1. So our answer is 3x plus 1, 2x plus 5. This is the splitting the middle term method. First of all, you have to compare the given equation with the quadratic equation, general quadratic equation. From there you will find the value of b and ac, and you have to find two numbers in such a way that their sum is equal to b and their multiplication is equal to ac. From there you will get two numbers and you will put them by splitting the middle term and you will get your answer. Now let us move to our factor theorem method. So in the factor theorem method we have 6x square plus 17x plus 5. So from here we will divide this complete equation by 6. So whenever you will divide 6x square plus 17x plus 5, we will divide this complete equation by 6. So you will get here x square plus 17 by 6x plus 5 by 6. As we have divided, we have to multiply it also, because we no need to change the value. For this we have to multiply and divide it by same value. So we will get this. Let us take it as 6px. So 6 is one of the factor here, and we will find the value of px here. We will find the value of px for this, and the px value is x square plus 17 by 6x plus 5 by 6. Again the same thing is here. We have to find two values in such a way that their sum is 17 by 6 and their multiplication is 5 by 6. You have to find out two numbers x plus y in such a way that their sum is 17 by 6 and their multiplication is 5 by 6. So we have to check this. So for that we will find, we have taken some values plus minus 1 by 2 plus minus 1 by 3 plus minus 5 by 3, all this, because what is the condition? We have to find out value in such a way that x plus y is equal to 17 by 6 and x into y must be equal to 5 by 6. So if you take 1 by 2 and 5 by 3, the sum is 5 by 6, but we have to check it that one x plus y should be 17 by 6 or not. So we will use the hit and trial method. So first of all we will take 1 by 2. So for p is equal to 1 by 2 we will find the value, and that doesn't come out to be equal to 0. That means 1 by 2 is not a factor. Now we will check it for minus 1 by 2 and we will see that minus 1 by 2 is also not a factor. Then we will move to 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is also not coming out as a factor. Then minus 1 by 3 comes out to be 0. So minus 1 by 3 is a factor. Then further on moving, we will get that minus 5 by 2 is also a factor. So we will get two factors. One is minus 1 by 3 and other is minus 5 by 2. So we will come out as x plus 1 by 3 and x plus 5 by 2. So we will write it like this, and after solving we will get 3x plus 1 and 2x plus 5. In this way we can use the factor theorem. You will better understand this when we are going to solve the exercise questions, that how to use this factor theorem. So let us move to our exercise, and the first question goes like this: determine whether the following polynomial has x plus 1 a factor or not. So to determine whether the polynomials have this a factor or not, you have to put the value of x is equal to minus 1, because x plus 1 we will put it equal to 0. From here we will get the value of x is equal to minus 1. So you have to put the value of x is equal to minus 1 in all the polynomials given. If the answer come out to be 0, that means x plus 1 is a factor, and if the answer doesn't come out to be 0, that means x plus 1 is not a factor. So for the first part, px is equal to x cube plus x square plus x plus 1, we will put the value of x is equal to minus 1. So after putting the value of x is equal to minus 1, we will get the answer is equal to 0. That means x plus 1 is a factor of this polynomial. Now let us move to our second part. In the second part, p of x is equal to x raised to power 4 plus x cube plus x square plus x plus 1. In this also we will put the value of x is equal to minus 1, and here we will get the answer as 1. So it doesn't equal to 0, that means x plus 1 is not a factor of the given polynomial. Similarly, we will solve for the third part, that is x raised to power 4 plus 3x cube plus 3x square plus x plus 1. In this we will also put the value of x is equal to minus 1. After putting the value, we will get 1 as answer, that is not equal to 0, that means it is not a factor of the given polynomial. In the fourth part again we will put the value of x is equal to minus 1. Here also the answer doesn't equal to 0, that means this is also not a factor of the given polynomial. In this way we will find out that whether the given value is a factor or not. We will find out by getting our answer equal to 0. Now let us move to our next question. Use the factor theorem to determine whether gx is a factor of the polynomial px or not. So we are given gx and we have to find out whether gx is a factor of px or not. So the first thing that you have to do, you have to put gx is equal to 0. So here we have given gx is equal to x plus 1, we will put it as 0, and from here we will get x is equal to minus 1. So the next step is you have to put x is equal to minus 1 into px. If the answer come out to be 0, that means gx is a factor of px. So after putting x is equal to minus 1 into gx, we will get the answer equal to 0. So here gx is a factor of px. In the second part, gx is equal to x plus 2. From here we will get the value of x is equal to minus 2, because whenever we put x is plus 2 is equal to 0, we will get is x is equal to minus 2. So we will put this x is equal to minus 2 in the given equation, and the equation is x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 1. We will put the value of x is equal to minus 2. So minus 2 cube plus 3 into minus 2 square plus 3 into minus 2 plus 1. Here the answer come out to be minus 1, that is not equal to 0. That means x plus 2 is not a factor of the given polynomial. For the third part, we are given x minus 3. So we will put it equal to 0. We will get the value of x is equal to 3. Now we will put the value in this given equation, that is x cube minus 4x square plus x plus 6. After getting the value, after putting the value of x is equal to 3, we will get 3 cube minus 4 into 3 square plus 3 plus 6. By solving this, we will get the answer equal to 0. That means x minus 3 is a factor of the given polynomial. Clear? Next, third question. Find the value of k if x minus 1 is a factor of the given polynomial. Very simple question. You have to find the value of k. So for that, if x minus 1 is a factor, if x minus 1 is a factor, that means x, for the value of x is equal to 1, p of 1 is equal to 0. What does it mean? If you put the value of x is equal to 1, your answer is equal to 0 always. So what shall we do? You are given the value of px in the first part, x square plus x plus k. You will put it equal to 0 when you put the value of x is equal to 1. So we will put x is equal to 1 here. 1 square plus 1 plus k is equal to 0. So 2 plus k is equal to 0. we will get 2 plus k is equal to 0 and the value of k is minus 2. In the first part it goes like this. For the second part we have 2x square plus kx plus root 2. We will put it equal to 0 for x is equal to 1. That means 1 plus k into 1 plus root 2. So we have 2 plus k plus root 2 is equal to 0. Taking these 2 on both sides, we will get k is equal to minus 2 minus root 2. Here the answer is minus 2 minus root 2. So try to solve this. Next is px is equal to kx square minus root 2x plus 1. Again we will put the value of x is equal to 1 here. So the value of p1 is equal to 0. That means k 1 square minus root 2 1 plus 1 is equal to 0. From here we will get the value of k is equal to root 2 minus 1. In the fourth part also same thing. We have to put the value of x is equal to 1. After putting the value of x is equal to 1, we will put it equal to 0, and from here we will get the value of k is equal to root 3 by 2. Simple. Next is factorize the given 12x square minus 7x plus 1 by using the method splitting the middle term. So you are given 2x square minus 7x plus 1. As you have studied the same thing in your 8th class also, what you have to do, you have to compare it with the general form of quadratic equation, that is ax square plus bx plus c. From here we will get the value of a is equal to 12, b is equal to minus 7 and c is equal to 1. So you have to find two numbers alpha and beta, in such a way that alpha plus beta is equal to minus 7 and alpha multiply beta is equal to 12 multiply 1. That means you have to find two numbers whose sum is minus 7 and whose multiplication is 12. So one thing you have to keep into your mind, that the sum must be minus 7 and the multiplication must be 12. So two numbers in such a way that, so both the numbers should be in such a way that their sum is minus and their multiplication is plus. So both the numbers must be either, both should be negative, because we have to get the answer as negative. So we will take minus 4 and minus 3, because 4 3s are 12 and 4 plus 3 7. So both the numbers should be minus 4 and minus 3. So we will write it like this: 12x square minus 4x minus 3x plus 1. Here from this we will take common, and from this also we will take something common. So it will come out to be 12x square minus 4x minus 3x plus 1. From the first two terms we will take 4x common, we will left with 3x minus 1, and from the last two we will take minus 1 as common and we will left with 3x minus 1. So the answer is 3x minus 1, 4x minus 1. Again let us see what you have to do. You are given 12x square minus 7x plus 1. From here the sum must be minus 7 and the multiplication will take two numbers, minus 4 minus 3. So 12x square minus 4x minus 3x plus 1. From here we will take 4x as common, so here we will left with 3x, here we will left with 1. Here minus is there, here plus is there, and in this minus is there in between these two. That means this plus can be written as minus minus 1. So we will take minus common, minus 1. Here we will left with 3x, here we will left with minus 1. So 3x minus 1, 3x minus 1, in both these we will take them out, 3x minus 1, and left with 4x minus 1. In similar way we will solve 2x square plus 7x plus 3. What should you do? You have to take the sum as 7 and multiplication is 3 multiply 2, that is 6. That means the multiplication should be 6 and the additions should be 7. So we can take 6 and 1, because 6 multiply 1 6 and 6 plus 1 7. So we will take 6 and 1 here, and we will solve this using the splitting the middle term method, and we will get the answer as x plus 3 2x plus 1. Next is 6x square plus 5x minus 6. 6x square plus 5x minus 6, the sum must be equal to plus 5 and the multiplication must be equal to 6 minus 6 minus 36. So you have to choose two numbers in such a way that the sum must be plus 5 and the multiplication must be minus 36. So you can find out by factorization method also. You will factorize 36. So 2 here, 18, 2, 9. So here 2 2s are 4 and 9 minus 4 5. 9 minus 4 5 and 9 4s are 36. So the two pairs come out to be 9 and 4. But the answer must be positive and the multiplication must be negative. That means the greater number is positive and the smaller number is negative. So this is positive and this is negative. So our two numbers are 9 and minus 4. 9 and minus 4. By putting the values we will get your answer. Next is 3x square minus x minus 4. That means your sum must be minus 1 and your multiplication must be minus 12. So minus 1 minus 12. So two numbers in such a way that their sum must be minus 1 and their multiplication must be minus 12. That the two numbers can be 4 and 3. The greater number must have negative sign and the smaller must have positive sign. So here we will take like this and we will get the answer by splitting the middle term method. Next is fifth question. Factorize x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2. So we will use the method factorization method. So first of all we will find the factor 1. So we will put here by hit and trial method. First of all we will put the value of x is equal to 1. We will put the value of x is equal to 1. We will get the answer equal to 0. By putting the value of x is equal to 1 we will get the answer equal to 0. So x minus 1 is a factor. Now the next step is you will divide the given polynomial with x minus 1. From there you will get the quotient equals to x square minus x minus 2. So we will get x square minus x minus 2. Now we will split this x square minus x minus 2 using the splitting the middle term method. X square minus x minus 2, splitting the middle term method. One factor we have come out with x minus 1. The other two factors we will find out from this. X square minus x minus 2. The sum must be equal to minus 1 and the multiplication should be equal to minus 2. So the sum must be equal to minus 1 and multiplication equal to minus 2. That can be 2 minus 2 and 1. So we can write it as x square minus 2x plus x minus 2. From the first two terms x will common, x minus 2, and from the last two terms 1 is common, again x minus 2. So x minus 2 common, we will write here x minus 2 and we will left with x and plus 1. So we will write here x plus 1. In this way we will use the factor theorem to find out the factors of the given polynomial. Let us recall again. You are given a polynomial x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2. The first thing that you have to do, you have to use hit and trial method. Hit and trial method means you have to check whether this polynomial has a factor 1 minus 1, then 2 minus 2, 3 minus 3. You will keep on going till you will get a factor from that. So here we will get the factor is equal to x minus 1. Whenever you put the value of x is equal to 1 in the given polynomial, you will get the answer equal to 0. That means x minus 1 is a factor of the given polynomial. Now the next step is you have to divide the given polynomial with x minus 1 or the factor that you get. From there you will get the quotient equal to x square minus 1. Now you have to factorize this x square minus x minus 2 using the splitting the middle term method and you will get your answer like this. Let us move to our second part, that is x cube minus 3x square minus 9x minus 5. Again we will put the value of x is equal to 1. It is not compulsory that always x minus 1 is a factor, but you have to check x minus 1 or x plus 1 or x minus 2 or x plus 2 which one is the factor by using the hit and trial method. So here when we put the value of x is equal to 1, we will get the answer not equal to, answer is equal to minus 16, that is not equal to 0. So we will move to our next, that is x is equal to minus 1. So when you put the value of x is equal to minus 1, you will get the answer 0. So x minus 1 is not a factor. So what is the factor? X plus 1. So now we will divide the given polynomial with x plus 1. Here we will get the quotient equal to x square minus 4x minus 5. X square minus 4x minus 5. Now the method is splitting the middle term method. The sum must be equal to minus 4 and the multiplication equal to minus 5. So that the sum must be equal to minus 4 and the multiplication equal to minus 5. So we can take minus 5 plus 1, answer is minus 4, minus 5 multiply 1, answer is minus 5. So we can take minus 5 and 1. So here we have taken minus 5 and 1, and after this we will get your answer. Third part. Again we have x cube plus 13x square plus 32x plus 20. Here again we will put, first of all we will put x is equal to 1. From there we will get that x is equal to 1 is not a factor. Then we will put x is equal to minus 1. From there we will get our value equal to 0. That means x plus 1 is a factor. Then we will divide the given polynomial with x plus 1 and we will get x square plus 12x plus 20. Then we will use the splitting the middle term method for this quotient. X square plus 12x plus 20, the sum must be equal to 12 and multiplication must be equal to 20. So 10 and 2 are the two factors. 10 plus 2 is equal to 12, 10 into 2 is equal to 20. So x plus 10 and x plus 2 will get the answer. Last part. We have 2y cube plus y square minus 2y minus 1. Here again also we will put different values and we will get y plus 1 is a factor. Then we will divide this polynomial by y plus 1 and we will get 2y square minus y minus 2. 2y square minus y minus 1. So the sum must be equal to minus 1 and the multiplication must be equal to minus 2. Sum must be equal to minus 1 and multiplication must be equal to minus 2. So sum must be equal to minus 1, multiplication minus 2. So we can take minus 2 plus 1, minus 2, and minus 2 multiply 1, again minus 2. So we can take minus 2 and plus 1 as the two factors. So we will take minus 2y plus y as the two factors. Here we will put the value and we will get the answer y plus 1, y minus 1 and 2y plus 1. These are the three factors of the given polynomial. This is all about your exercise 2.4. If any doubt is there, you can ask me in the comment box and clear your doubt. Must complete it in your notebook and upload it to the Google Classroom. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you and have a nice day.